really cool piece of content for you here from Central Park in Manhattan. How does social media impact my business decisions? It impacts it a lot. I think that what none of us really fully understand as a community yet is that social media is just another word for the internet. It's the current state of the internet. It's what's layered on top of the internet, meaning the internet is the thing that connects all of us, the thing that you're trying to sell, the product you're trying to sell, the service you're trying to sell. But the things that are stacked on top of it are the ways that we can get in front of people that we want to buy our products or services. So the internet and social media are exactly the same thing. I think of it like that. I think of it, how does it affect? It's almost 100% of my marketing efforts. It affects it every single day. Social media fits into my overall marketing strategy in two main ways. So the first thing is start to create some content and put it up on the social media platforms. How does social media affect my marketing? There's two different things. Number one, there's a big difference right now between what is branding / marketing and what is sales. So I put out basically 90% of my content on social is for branding purposes. I'm not selling anything. The call to action is like my page. The call to action is share this content with your friend. And that is because I'm planning on 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years from now, because you become a fan of my content, you all of a sudden have a senior executive role at a Fortune 500 company or at a conference or an event, and all of a sudden you remember me from the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years of content, and you ask me to come speak, or you give me the business of your business. That's the branding part. So that I do that through Facebook marketing, through Instagram ads, Facebook ads, and that's a branding play where I'm not making a specific sale. The other side of marketing is the sales piece. And like I said, it's different than branding because you're actually trying to push something. I do very little selling on social media. The ways that I would sell, for example, I just had the Convocatoria, the competition of entrepreneurship in Latin America. I was selling tickets for people to join that. And so I would literally drive content traffic to that sales page. That's one way. If I was selling a telephone or a watch or sneakers or a shirt or a chain, then I would create content, and then the call to action button would be buy now, in which case I would be able to track also through Facebook, Instagram advertising who was buying it from that piece of content. So those are two different ways that I think through how social helps my marketing strategy, sales, and branding. The best strategy is to think of every single platform as a different kind of party, right? So what kind of party is Snapchat? Snapchat is a party of 13 to 18, 19, 21-year-olds. Are you gonna talk to a 14-year-old girl in Omaha, Nebraska, the same way you're gonna talk to a 62-year-old father that lives in the Bronx of New York City? No. You need to talk to them differently. So you need to understand the dynamics of every single platform, and you need to talk to people differently on every single platform. Everyone is in different platforms for different reasons. I'm on Pinterest to see pretty pictures. I'm on Instagram to be entertained. I'm in Facebook to maybe buy something. I'm in YouTube to consume content. I'm on Snapchat because my friends are on Snapchat and I'm a 15-year-old girl. So the answer is absolutely post different content to different platforms. Learn the nuances because there are a lot. If you're not gonna post anything on any platform because you don't think you wanna take the time to post on a bunch of different platforms, then just put the same content across the board. That's better than nothing, but I would strongly suggest you take a hard look at who is on the platforms and why. To consume, I like social media. I like to create social media content that adds value. I wrote a post about this today. I think that so many people are doing this wrong, and I think there's, including myself sometimes, I think that there's so much desire for people to accept us, and there's so much desire for us to be putting out content that, how do I say it, that makes us feel better about our own lives, that I think that there's a great opportunity, instead of putting that picture up of you standing on the stage giving the keynote or you working with the client of your dreams, instead of doing that, which literally adds zero value to your followers, to your public, to your community, instead of doing that, actually talk about what we do. We show the speech. Like if I give a keynote speech, I take a picture of me on the stage, but then on my YouTube show, on my Facebook page, clips of Instagram, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on Medium, we're actually talking about it, writing articles, we're uploading the actual keynote. So there's an opportunity to actually share the content that you're sharing with these audiences in a way that actually brings value to the community that you're trying to add value to, instead of just saying like, hey, look at me, I gave another keynote, or hey, look at me, I have another client, or hey, look at me, I'm an entrepreneur. That adds zero value to any of your customers, any of your audience, any of your followers, any of your fans. And I just think it's a waste of time and it's a vanity play. Instead, take that content and put it out into the world and share the learnings so that everyone can learn it at scale. You know, when thinking through what my viewers and customers seem to like the most, it's the real, raw, authentic content. This is something that I think is really important for anyone building a brand, whether you're a massive business, whether you're a CEO, whether you're a small business, whether you're a solo entrepreneur. The key to creating content right now is to be honest and to be open and to be authentic. I know that sounds trite and everybody's talking about, you know, be yourself, but really it's just the truth. I mean, we were talking last night at dinner about a Colombian restaurant in Houston, and I asked the gentleman that owns it, I said, do you teach people about your recipes? Do you teach people about Colombian culture? Do you tell them about why you started to serve healthy food? There was a family situation that went on that inspired this gentleman to start creating and building and cooking healthier foods. Have you shared that with your people? No, he hasn't. And so I think that there's such an opportunity for us to connect. At the end of the day, there's so many products, so many services, so many ideas. Everyone's selling the same stuff. What makes you different is the way that you can connect to people on a human level, on an emotional level, and the only way that you'll do that, take yourself off the pedestal, literally take yourself down, connect with people about the real things that you're feeling, about the real things that they're feeling, and about how that interaction can really, literally bring you together and can build a business. So the question is, do you keep your personal and professional Facebook pages separate, or do you combine them? I think it depends, right? Like, you know, for me, everything is in one page. I do have a personal page that I post to sometimes, but everything I post on my personal page, I also post on my professional page. A couple of big advantages to having a professional page, which you all should have, every single one of you watching, listening, should have if you want to create any sort of brand or if you want to sell anything using social media. The first thing is, if you are on a professional page, you can actually advertise. You can't do that from a personal page. Second thing is, your organic reach in a personal page is between 1% to 3% on Facebook right now. I think it's hovering between 20% and 30% on Instagram right now. Those numbers change constantly with the algorithm and with depending on how much Facebook wants to charge for advertising. But the key is, with a professional page, you're much more in control, because literally you can know with a specific dollar spend how many people you can reach in a Facebook environment, in a professional public figure page. So that is something that you should think about all the time. You know, if you're separate or together, it just depends. If you're running a small laundromat, you know, I would probably keep it all together. Just, it's a personal decision. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. I like to keep everything together just because it streamlines my stuff, and I really only use social media for business stuff. So that's why I do it together. So it's an interesting question, SEO based on social content output. You know, what I have seen is this. When you Google my name, there's a tremendous amount of content. I think I occupy the first 4, 5, even 6 pages of Google possibly, but I definitely know the first 4, and even 5th and 6th, I'm there. So I think that from a brand perspective, absolutely. You know, the more content you put out, the more the engines pick you up. The more content you put out, the more likely other people are gonna start writing and talking about you in their social networks, which have that domino snowball effect. So I'd say absolutely it helps to be discovered and to also build that credibility on the internet's www World Wide Web. I post every single day on social media. I think that I would like to post more, to be honest. I think that you could post 2, 3, 4 times a day. The organic reach is so limited that you're never gonna overwhelm people, because Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, they all have algorithms that basically prevent you from getting in front of people all the time. You know, it's Facebook's and Instagram's smart business model, which is they want you to pay for advertising, which I understand. And so as a result of that, you can't post too much. People are worried about posting too much. You can't post too much because you're really not gonna be able to get into people's feeds as much as you want. So I post every single day on Facebook. I post every single day on Instagram. I post once or twice a week on LinkedIn and Medium. I post 2, 3, 4 times a week on YouTube. I'd like to do more. I think that if you can post content every single day across the 7 platforms that people are paying attention to, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Medium, and a podcast, then you'll win. If the content is good, if you're actually engaging, and if you think thoughtfully about why people are in these platforms. If you're a small business owner entering the world of social media for the first time, my advice would be a couple different things. Number one, just start with one piece of content. Think about what feels right for you. If you're a great writer, write an article. If you love to talk and you have a lot of ideas about different things in your industry, then do an audio recording that you can turn into a podcast. If you love the video, if you love being on camera, then shoot a video. And then what you can do with that content is you can literally recycle it, right? So many people are overthinking content development strategy. They think, okay, I have to shoot this video now, and then I go and I do a podcast, and then I write an article. The thing is, you literally use one piece of content and think about how you can recycle that content. So for example, if I do a video talking about my daily special at the laundromat or at my dry cleaning establishment, then I can do a quick 1-2 minute video, and then what I can do is I can take that same audio from that video and I can transcribe it. I can literally rip it, put it into a podcast. It takes 5, 10, 15 minutes. Then I can sit down and I can write out an article about it. Another 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes. I think in 1 hour, you can probably scale across 7 different platforms using this idea of taking one piece of content and then recycling it. Second thing I would say is give yourself a break. There's so many people putting so much pressure on the perfection of social media content, and really what sells, as I answered earlier, is this idea of being your authentic self, sharing your day, sharing people that come through. Here comes Susie, who had a great soccer game. Talk about Susie, do a quick interview on your phone, upload it to social media. People think that it has to be too perfect, too polished. It doesn't, I promise you. The best content right now that's going viral is the content that's authentically you, that's real, that's raw, that's behind the scenes. Why do you think people like sitcoms like Friends and Seinfeld and all these sitcoms that were massively popular 10, 15, 20, 25 years ago? It's because people felt like this is real life. I go to a coffee shop and I also get rejected by girls and guys, and this is, that's what people connect with. So give people something to connect with. And if you're in a small business, you have a great opportunity to really connect with your audience. The other thing is Facebook advertising, Instagram advertising are such a powerful tool for you because you can literally segment by location. So if you want to create a piece of content where you talk about Susie's great soccer game, you can put that piece of content up. You can run an ad for $7, $14, $21 where you're in front of 1, 5, 10,000 people, and you talk about Susie's great soccer game. And the advantage of that is that you can literally say, I want people that make $50,000 to $100,000 a year that live within a 5-mile radius of my laundromat that also care about soccer. And all of a sudden you have 15, 20, 25 new customers. Peace.